Okay, what do we got? What do we see? Is there a hatch? Or is it just a brand new valley?
Hey, Echo!
I don't see nothing.
Whoa, what does he see? What do we see? Is it a giant question mark? Oh, it's just the view. Yeah, it's right behind the plane. X marks the spot.
The earth has been salted so that nothing can grow. So that this place can be seen from up above.
What place?
The place that this plane fell upon, John. Come on.
It's under the plane. So that's like their airdrop, their helipad of sorts. Here's where you drop supplies. X marks the spot. The X of the plane is the question mark. Here we go.
John!
Hatch number 4. How do you move a plane? Come on. That's a feat of strength. Yeah. What's this one gonna be? What's the symbol on this one? It's got a handle. Oh man, we're just going right in. This isn't gonna be a...
May I?
Be my guest.
I like that the doors themselves form an octagon. Yeah. Another mysterious shaft. What's down this one? Heroin. Jeez, we're gonna turn Libby into a junkie and she's gonna survive. And is Hurley here?
We were gonna have our first date.
Oh, Hurley.
Picnic on the beach.
Yeah, I hope you feel like shit, Michael.
I'm glad you're okay, man.
You betrayer. You mole. I mean, I'm sure you're doing it for Walt. I'm convinced that that's why, but man, you must feel... I hope you feel like shit. Man, they're just going straight in. Yeah, I guess we knew they... Oh, it doesn't have a logo. Unless we're calling this one the Sun Hatch or something. Is it abandoned too? Is this like headquarters, the administration, the observation deck? What do we see? Who do we see? One of these is going to be Swan, I'm sure. 7, 8. Okay, there's 9 TVs. Yeah, there we go. It's Swan. Is that number 7? Oh man. Is this all this hatch is just an observation post? Print log, yes. Absolutely yes. Nice little serif font there. Come on. It's definitely been abandoned, except everything's working. Oh, geez, this is nothing but... Oh, new set of numbers. Accepted, 4, 16, 21, 8. Oh, where did they send, where does that go? Oh, what do we have? Man, so much is happening here. This is so fascinating. What's it all about? What does he read? What is it? What is it? Another orientation video. But we're VHS now, which means it's later. 5 of 6. The Pearl. Okay, that makes sense.
Station 5, or the Pearl, is a monitoring station where the activities of participants in Dharma Initiative projects can be observed and recorded. Your tour of duty in the Pearl will last 3 weeks, and during this time you and your partner will observe a psychological experiment in progress. These team members are not aware that they are under surveillance, or that they are the subjects of an experiment. What do these subjects believe they are accomplishing? You, as the observer, don't need to know. All you need to know is the subjects believe their job is of the utmost importance.
So entering the code means nothing?
Each time a notebook is filled, simply place the container in the pneumatic tube, and presto, it will be transported directly to us. Namaste, and good luck.
Love an orientation film. How do you... And this is 1980, so this is like a number of years later. Fascinating.
Would you like to watch that again?
Yes. No.
No, I've seen enough.
Man, he knows that the code means nothing. Or at least that's the assumption, right? John feels it's all been a waste of time now.
I'm sorry. Weren't you just watching the same thing I was?
Yes, Jim. And I believe the work you have been doing is more important now than ever.
What's Echo's interpretation here? Because John feels like it's all been a waste.
Work. That's a joke. Rats in a maze with no cheese.
We are being tested. The reason to do it, push the button, is not because we are told to do so in a film. We do it because we believe we are meant to.
I was never meant to do anything.
Yeah, no purpose. That's what he's been afraid of his whole life, that he is.
My pathetic little life is as useless as that button.
I feel for him.
It's nothing. It's meaningless.
Yeah. One more confirmation that his life has no purpose. Oh.
I have a message for you, and I promise to deliver it.
A message?
From your brother.
He says you were a good priest.
Who says that?
Yemi. He said that you would come and see me. He said that even though you were pretending you were a good man, he wants you to know that he will see you soon. He said that even though you don't have faith in yourself, he has faith in you.
Wow.
One day you'll believe me.
Yemi was a great man.
I think I've been calling him Emmy, but it's
And
Yemi.
because I betrayed him, he was shot and died.
I'll have that down next time.
He was placed on a plane, which took off from an airstrip in Nigeria, half a world from here.
Literally half the world. We've talked about that before.
And somehow, here, I found my brother again. So let me ask you, how can you say this is meaningless? I believe the work being done in the hatch is more important than anything. If you will not continue to push the button, John.
I will.
I will.
Really, that's what it's all about. The button is about a demonstration of faith. It's not about fear. It's not about obligation. It's about faith that it's the thing to do. At least that's Echo's interpretation. I'm not sure I fully believe that, but it's clear that that's what he does.
Can I talk to her?
This is going to be heartbreaking, isn't it?
Hey. It's Hurley.
She knows, man. She
Can you
knows.
go? I'm sorry I forgot the blankets. I'm sorry I forgot the blankets.
It's not your fault, man.
Libby? Michael.
Shh.
It's okay. He made it, Libby.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh no, 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 don't die. Don't die, don't die. No. No, 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 no. Seriously? Oh, and she tried to warn them and they didn't get it. They didn't get it. Oh, no. Seriously? Oh, Libby died and I was so fascinated about her. I was really liking her. I was hoping I'd get more about her. And she was so good for Hurley. Ah, man. Is Locke's faith restored after that video? Or are we gonna get a miracle here like Echo's Drowner? Why is Michael in the cell? Oh man, oh man. I didn't think they'd do it. I didn't think they'd kill off Ana Lucia and Libby. I thought one of them would make it, at least, or both miraculously. You know, we just watched an episode where a girl in Australia survived, like, came back from the dead after drowning, so maybe there's still hope that Libby isn't fully dead, but the way that episode finished, it certainly feels like we have no more Michelle Rodriguez as Ana Lucia. We have no more Libby, which is a shame. I really liked both their characters. I thought they were going to be with us for a while. But killing off Ana Lucia in particular is a very bold move by the producers. In that, you know, she really felt like she was part of the new core group of characters. And yet, you know, here we go. She didn't even last a full season. Man. You know, when Boone and Shannon died, you know, it's clear that some characters are going to die in this show, but they weren't core characters. They were interesting characters, they were series regulars, but they weren't part of that core. But now it feels like, you know, pretty much anyone's vulnerable. I'd still be blown away if at some point they kill off a Jack or a Kate or a Locke. But, you know what I'm saying. And, man, I really, really like both of them. And, like I said, you know, like, Libby was so good for Hurley, and, like, there was still so much mystery about her. And, you know, that flashback that we had in episode, was it 18? Dave? Hurley's flashback, where it was revealed that she was a patient. I feel like we'll never find out now. We'll never find out unless we do another Hurley flashback and she reappears, and yet Hurley can't remember where he knows her from, so that doesn't necessarily make sense to me. But we have a new hatch. We have the Pearl, which was apparently the one in the middle. I would have guessed. I was going to talk about the I Ching map that Locke saw on the blast doors, but I was so eager just to get into this episode because of the insane cliffhanger at the end of last episode that I didn't really get into that today. I thought I could wait another episode, but I should have talked about it because, you know, I did the freeze frame thing that I'm sure a ton of you did back in the day, trying to decipher it. You can spot the swan, you can spot the arrow, and you can spot the staff, which is the medical hatch. So the three hatches that we know about, they're all labeled on there. In the middle is the question mark. I would have assumed that was sort of like the central, you know, command center, for lack of a better word. Instead, it's the Pearl, it's the observation post. Interesting that it's only a 3-week assignment there when, for instance, at the Swan, I think it was supposed to be 210, I forget, but it was a lot longer than 21 days. It was a year and a half or something, I think, maybe. 540 days? Wasn't that long? Anyway, we know a little bit more about the Dharma Initiative geography of the island. Clearly, there are still other hatches to be revealed in the future, because I think there were 7 or 8 perimeter hatches plus the central one. There were 9 monitors in the Pearl. Presumably, there's 1 per station, although maybe, you know, that's not a direct correlation. There's more hatches out there, and I'm sure we're going to find them eventually. But right now, we have to talk about Michael. What happened to Michael? How did the others turn him? I feel like this is all the pressure is all coming from, do this or we will kill your son. We will kill Walt. But to kill 2 people, to shoot yourself, I mean, that's a big ask. But clearly, the others are good at the psychological manipulation. They know how to play. And now there's a mole in the midst of the survivors in the form of Michael. Libby tried to warn Jack and Hurley at the very end there before she passed, but she could only get out the one word. They thought it was just concern for him as opposed to a warning, and Michael is now a new mole. Presumably Henry has just disappeared back into the forest. Who knows when we'll see him again. But man, I'm we lost 2 characters in a single episode. And, I guess that's sort of what happens towards a series finale. What we do need to talk about is everything that Echo and Locke discovered and talked about on their mission. It was revealed to Locke by that orientation video that essentially the participants in the other hatches, including the Swan, are all subjects of psychological experiments. And would they continue, for instance, in the Swan? Although it didn't come out and specifically say this, it was clear. The clear intent was, how long will people continue to punch the code because they're supposed to, or because they feel that the repercussions may be drastic? And Locke's immediate reaction is that he's been had, that once again life proves that it has no purpose, at least for him in particular. He feels his whole life is meaningless. And yet Echo interprets it entirely differently. And it's... I forget exactly how he said it, but he sort of indicated that there's multiple reasons we do something. We can do it because we're told to do it, because it's our obligation. We can do it because we feel we need to do it to prevent a disaster, a meltdown, another incident. Or we do it on faith. And this is proof to Echo that the reason we do it is we do it on faith. That he was meant to find his brother on this island, literally on the other side of the world from Nigeria. That there is higher meaning to this because it is faith-driven now. He has enough evidence to prove, even in his flashbacks in this episode. Sorry, I'm rambling and I'm having a difficult time framing my thoughts because they're formulating as I'm speaking here. When he was a priest at the start of the episode in his flashbacks, pretending to be a priest in Australia, he was clearly bored with his job, didn't truly believe in it, didn't have true faith. He was just impersonating a priest. And yet over the course of the episode, questioning this supposed miracle of this girl coming back from the dead after drowning, in a weird way his faith is restored. And not because of the miracle of her being saved necessarily, but because she came to him in the airport and told him that she had a message from her brother, and that message rang true. And maybe she did die, and that's how she received that message from Yemi. And every time Echo sees Yemi in his dreams, or has a vision of Yemi, it reinforces that sense that his faith. It reinforces his faith. And like Yemi says, he's the message from Yemi beyond the grave was that he's a good man, that Echo is a good man, that Echo is a good priest, he's worth saving. And even if Echo doesn't have faith in himself, Yemi does. And we've circled around this topic time and time again on this series before. The idea of faith, it's obviously a constant theme throughout the show. And what a great episode. I love the dynamic between Echo and Locke. You knew as soon as the Tailies joined the survivors that would be an interesting dynamic. We've touched on it a little bit in the past. When Echo first gave Locke the missing piece of the Swan orientation film, and now we're here with them sort of perhaps at equal purposes for once, which is really interesting. I think that's an interesting alliance that we can watch in the future. I have more episodes to watch. I believe I only have 3 left in this series. I think this is a 24 episode season, and I'm trying to get to the end of it today. So thank you all as always for joining me. Until next time, take care, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.